It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. Another episode of The Oil Stream. Nielsen and Gazzola back with you once again on the Nielsen Media Cool Bet Network. Tommy, before we get going here, take off that hat again. You had that hat off right before. My God. Now bend down. Just, oh, yeah. Woo.
How's that?
She's looking good, buddy. She's looking real good. Real good, yeah.
Oh, look at this mess. It's like a nest, dude.
Yeah, that's what I told you it felt like last week. Remember, I was like, it feels like a little bird's nest. Anyway, put that hat back on now, buddy. Yeah. That's enough. Right, People got their fix. As always, the Oil Stream brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, home of the $5 car flag, DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats. If you're settling in to watch the game on Wednesday night, why not order some Popeyes, the delicious Popeyes chicken sandwich. They got the ghost chicken sandwich right now, which is a spicy meatball or a spicy chicken breast, but you can get your hands on that as well. Boy, we kind of got lots to get to. Kind of don't have lots to get to because the team didn't skate earlier today. They're obviously gonna have a morning skate, I would think, before the game in Vegas on Wednesday, Tommy. And we'll get to some line matching stuff. We'll get to 12-6 versus 11-7 with Janmark skating for as long as he has. But the big story in town today was the scheduling changes. Game 2 will not be on Friday. Game 2 will not be on Saturday. I tell you right now, I feel for those who've booked a trip down there to watch the game on Friday and are flying home Saturday. Mad scramble to try to switch things around. The bottom line is, I guess this is why the National Hockey League can't be taken seriously by Americans. I'm sorry. I mean, the NBA, the NFL, they get their shit taken care of. The National Hockey League just looks so Bush League in this situation, Tommy.
It does. Terrible. And it also means no first golf game of the year for Tom on Saturday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, devastating.
That sucks.
I know, the smallest fiddle in the world or violin playing sad tune in the world for Tommy. But talking to people within the Oilers organization, I was told today that they first heard of this morning. No one for a good chunk of the day knew what the heck was going on. And it was
How's that possible? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was told that it was a gigantic fumble by the NHL. That came from people within the Oilers organization.
It doesn't surprise me. It's sad, but it doesn't surprise me.
Dusty, and those people, you've been to Vegas. We've all spent time there. We like it there. You know that those rates spike on Saturdays. So if you're going to stay for that game and you're going to get your hotel for another day, it's probably going to be double, maybe even triple the price it was for the Friday, even Thursday. That's a shot to the pocketbook for sure.
Yeah. National Hockey League needs to be better. I mean, they just need to do that better. The schedule now looks like this. Wednesday, 7:30 start here, Edmonton on the road against the Golden Knights. The next game will be Saturday with a 7:00 Eastern start, so a 5:00 start here in Edmonton. And then Monday, May 8th, an 8:30, so a 6:30 our time. And then Wednesday, May 10th, the 8:00 start Edmonton time. So we get a 7:30, we get a 5, we get a 6:30, and we get an 8. So 4 different start times for the first 4 games of this series, Tommy. I mean, I don't know. Where's the consistency here? It's frustrating.
It is frustrating, and it bring it back full circle. It's the NHL, man. That's no bueno. So way to go, NHL. Way to go.
OEG today announcing some changes for the Ice District watch parties. Now, it's been an absolute gong show down there. Yep. Lads, you've been doing the thing at the Ice House, and obviously you see it a little bit firsthand. So here's what they've announced today. The Ford tailgate party in the Fan Park and the Scotiabank Playoff Plaza in Ice District, which, of course, is the Moss Pit. They are now 18 plus. Okay, so you have to be 18 plus to get in there. They're going to check the IDs. They're going to give you a wristband. There's going to be no re-entry as they try to calm down the freak out there. Now, I know for parents who have kids, you're like, man, I want to get my kid in there and have some fun. Well, now what they're going to do is Winston Churchill Square will be the family-friendly party. There will be no booze there, but there'll be a watch party set up there. So if you have kids and you want to kind of head downtown and get in the mix there, that's where you will go. Tommy, it seemed like everybody was sort of overwhelmed with what happened happened in the first round, and this is how they're going to try to smooth things, calm things down just a little bit. With that being said, I mean, if the Oilers go on a deep, deep run here, downtown is going to be an absolute runaway that not even the police are going to be able to control, essentially.
Well, I mean, knock on wood, I hope that that's not the case, and I hope people realize how stupid they're acting. And this is, a way to calm the waters. Good on the city, EPS, and the Oilers, OEG, to try to find ways to make this work. Dusty, I got to walk through the plaza to get to Ice House, and now they were blocking it off. They say you can't get through, and I'm like, okay, I'll find an alternate route easily, no problem, don't worry. But it reminded me of from going from the second round to the third round in 2006, and everybody would congregate at White Avenue, and it would just get stupid. And this is nothing new. It's probably going to continue. It's sad, and it happens in every city, unfortunately. We just get these idiots that stir it up and can't control themselves. We have idiots in our city. There's idiots in other NHL cities and other major sports league cities, and they go and they do stupid things. So I would not be bringing my kid to the watch party in the mosh pit prior to.
No, you don't want to do that anyway. The
tailgate party. Yeah, exactly. And I just hope people practice using common sense and don't turn it into an idiot. And I'll say this: it's going to be a nut house. That is not the best place to watch the game. It really is not. Find a good bar or restaurant close by if you want a taste of the vibe. There's so many great local restaurants and bars around downtown and in and around the district to go watch. Ice House, BP's in Ice District, or Costin Pizza, as they might call
I see that's looks like it's going to be labeled as Costin Pizza,
right,
which makes sense.
Go to local, go to Kelly's Pub, go to Home and Away. Like, there's so
go to
many
the Pint. I mean, there's lots of places. Go to Greta. Like, there's a bunch of places you can go.
Just Central Social Hall. Like, it's incredible how everybody and to storm the fence and to overwhelm the security is just ridiculous.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see that again. Hey, go to Cook County and watch the game. I had a good time there on Friday, and I watched during that 2017 run. I spent a few nights at Cook County watching the game on the big screen there, so it was good.
I met the DJ Billy, who's a big fan of yours, and he says anytime we want to go down to Cook County and rip it up.
Did you get his number? Good. Send me that number. That's good to know, buddy. That's great. Okay, good. Ooh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Yeah, fire me that. All right. So the Oilers didn't practice today, Tommy. Travel day to get to Vegas. Now, were you surprised they didn't mix in a practice? I mean, things are going pretty good right now. So I don't know really what more you need to work on. Take an extra day off here. Travel. Take it easy. Good skate tomorrow morning. Ready for the game?
Well, about 10 or 11 guys did skate listening to Jay Woodcroft. So, I mean, it wasn't a full-blown practice, but they had guys on the ice. That's a good chunk
of the Black Aces, basically, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. So, I fully anticipate them to have a full morning skate tomorrow. That's what's going to happen. They took the day to rest, recuperate, did their meetings, whatever, and then they're going to go probably in Vegas already, and they'll have a full morning skate tomorrow to kind of prep themselves for game one. But they were on the ice the last couple of days. I think it's okay. And you know what? They can rest up those bumps and bruises. It's one game that they've had in like a 7 or 8 day span. So this is something that and a luxury that not a lot of teams have had the ability to take advantage of. And Edmonton, I think, is. So, this is good. It's fine. They have, sleep studies and professionals that kind of guide them on how to handle these types of situations. So I think they're going to be just fine in regard to that.
All right, let's get into your Boston Pizza appetizer here. Happy hour, of course, 2 to 5. Then just stick around anyway. Have some dinner and then get ready for the second happy hour later on from 9 until close. And be an absolutely great time at all the Boston Pizzas. Like you said, the one downtown in Ice District looked like it's going to be Costin Pizza. So keep tabs on that. I think we're going to be in Clairview later this month as well. Hopefully the run is still going, and that place will be packed as well. Fanalytics, man, they're hammering this Fanalytics now across the country. It's been great to see Boston Pizza hopping in heavy on the Fanalytics thing. They've got some great menu items out there now, so you can always pop by Boston Pizza for all of the Oilers playoff action. Tommy, how much line matching are we expecting to see in this series? Like, who do the Kings want to get out there against McDavid and Draisaitl if McDavid and Draisaitl are together? They've got the Karlsson line, they've got the Eichel line, and then they've got the Mark Stone, Chandler, Stevenson line. So which line do you think they want to get out there?
I don't think that they really care for matchups when it comes to forwards. I think this is going to be a lot different. It's going to be a contrast to what we saw in round one, reading what Bruce Cassidy's been saying. And listen, I know that there's a little bit of game within the game with these coaches, but they're not really a match-heavy type of team, the Golden Knights. And the Oilers, maybe in certain situations here and there, but I don't think
but not much themselves either. Yeah.
Yeah. Where there will be matches, Dusty, is with the defense pairings up against the Oilers.
Martinez and Pietrangelo against McDavid and Draisaitl. Yeah.
And then if they split from Draisaitl and McDavid, expect to see a lot of Pietrangelo on McDavid and a lot of Theodore and McNabb when he's good to go on Draisaitl. So it's interesting how that's
a pretty good top four on the blue line, buddy. That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they've got White Cloud and who else on their third pairing? I can't remember.
Well, they've got Hutton and Haig are the other guys that are in there, right?
And
on the left side. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the matchups are going to be. It's not going to be line versus line, shutdown guy versus offensive guy like we had to go through for 6 games. It'll be more run and gun, but you're going to see the defense of the Golden Knights paired up against whatever Jay Woodcroft tries to throw out there in terms of his lineups. Draisaitl and McDavid together, Draisaitl and McDavid separated. That's how Bruce Cassidy will kind of line it up.
I wonder what Golden Knights fans would want to see, though. Like, I feel like Stephenson and Stone against the McDavid Draisaitl line, like the one area, like McDavid and Draisaitl, Kane, whoever, they're brilliant. We know that. Yeah. But Tom, we also know they can drop the ball defensively 5-on-5 once in a while, right? Like we saw in the last series. Mark Stone's not going to do that at the other end, right? So I'd be pretty fascinated. I want to see it. I want to see Stephenson's a 60-point guy in back-to-back years, and Mark Stone, I mean, they might be listed as like their second or their third line, but that's a really good line. And I think if I'm the Golden Knights, I'd be pretty comfortable putting Stone and Stephenson out there. Not that they're going to shut those guys down, but that'd be a more defensively responsible unit that can still do some damage offensively and put McDavid and Draisaitl in some tough spots, I think.
Yeah, listening to the Golden Knights side of things, they want to smother the Oilers with their 5-man defensive system, and that's going to be tougher. And they're not really known as a stingy, full-on defensive unit because they can score with the best of them, but they have good defensemen, and they're going to be in deep against the Oilers. And you know what? I'm curious to see how that matchup plays up. And then the other thing, too, is they've got that the Carlson, Smith, and Marchessault combination separated right now. And if things kind of go sideways for the Golden Knights, I think we could see them reunited at some point.
Because did they have Marchessault up with Eichel there for a bit in that last series, I think? So
and Chandler Stevenson and Mark Stone are leading the way offensively with 8 points each for these Golden Knights. So
they're deep, man. That forward group is. They don't have McDavid and Draisaitl. I get it, but they're deep. They are.
They helped me scratch Phil Kessel. That's where we're at.
I totally forgot about Phil Kessel. God, I'd love to see a War Pig appearance in this series. That would be great. All right, so that's your Boston Pizza appetizer. Looking for a place to watch the game? We highly suggest Boston Pizza. I know that place we were at on 170 said they've got the sound now when the game's on in the restaurant too. So if you want to take your family out for dinner, you can go watch the game there at Boston Pizza as well. All right, let's continue with this sort of roster construction here. Matthias Janmark, Tommy here. If he comes back, it seems like it'll just be straight up 12-6 as opposed to the 11-7. But I thought in that first round, they were better when they ended up going 11-7 than 12-6. So, I mean, how much of a sure thing do you think it is that if Janmark's back, it's just boom, 12-6?
Well, I think that they would insert him. He's valuable. He's a good player. He deepens the Oilers forward unit. So I don't think, 5 to 8 minutes of Philip Broberg is going to be greater than a good 10 to 15 minutes of Matthias Janmark, especially
unless you take out another forward. Like the Oilers, I always think the Oilers are better 11-7 than they are at 12-6. I don't know. Maybe Janmark waits to get in.
And that's the other thing. It's
could you do that? Give him a little bit of extra time and just roll with what you've got.
Hey, Matthias, are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
We'll take another day. Well, they could do that.
If Kostin has an off game, then you go, okay, you're back in. We'll go 12-6. We'll mix things. Or you can stick 11-7 if you love it. And, Kostin comes out. Now, people would rage if Kostin comes out just because of what he's managed to done in that last series. But I don't think you're taking anybody else out either, right? So I don't know what to. I just think they're better at 11-7 than they are at 12-6. And I thought they were better. Like, think about early stages of that last series. Now, Korpisalo was great. That was the difference. But when the Oilers went to 11-7, man, things really started to click.
Yeah. I really appreciate, and I think Kostin had a really strong series for the most part. There was that game where he didn't even play in the third period.
Yeah.
But where I see some differences in the Golden Knights compared to the Kings is this is a Golden Knights team that's quick, more up-tempo. They're not going to sit back with a 1-3-1. And I think that's a disadvantage to a guy like Klim Kostin. And that's where I could see, if things aren't going well for the Oilers, then Kostin comes out. If they really want to stick to 11-7 and Janmark is good to go, that's a scenario where I could see them taking out Kostin. I don't think they're going to. I think that they have full faith in Klim Kostin, especially with the way he's playing. I think it is as simple as going to 12-6. Maybe they give them a little bit extra time. But, yeah, Dusty, this Golden Knights team is quicker. It's more up-tempo. And we're going to see faster hockey than we did against the Los Angeles Kings.
Well, that's what I wonder. If it's quicker and more up-tempo and Desharnais gets into some tough spots, I mean, you might want Broberg to slide in there, right? Like, so.
Or Desharnais backs off and he learns from his mistakes. I mean, that could happen too.
All right, let's get to some of your questions here before we wrap up this episode. We'll take a look at the series lines and betting odds here and stuff with CoolBet as well. There's some people, Original Puzar, we know him very well. He's pissed that they changed the schedule because he had planned things already and is not happy with how that worked. We got some Yamamoto stuff for next year. We got a whole off season that we'll discuss next year on that stuff. Here's Zach says, who's got the physical advantage in this series, Tommy?
Edmonton.
You think so?
Edmonton's a bigger, stronger team. Outside of Keegan Colasar, William Carrier, Nick Hague and Nick Waugh, big boys. Like, how many heavies do the Golden Knights have? I mean, Carlson's not big. Smith isn't big. Marchessault's not big. Kessel's not big. Stevenson's not big. Like they're good size, but they're not a team that's.
I was going to say they're not small guys. That's for sure.
No, but they're not a beat you up type of team. Whereas Edmonton, like we saw when they went up against LA, Edmonton was stronger, physically more intimidating, which is a contrast compared to what we've been able to talk about the Oilers in terms of their physical prowess in previous years. So I think Edmonton has the physical advantage over the Golden Knights. But listen, they're quick, they're smart, and they're big enough, and they can muck it up with the best of them. So slight advantage to Edmonton.
Dunes on Twitter asks, will the NHL reimburse people who were originally attending Game 2 on Friday in Vegas? And I'll answer this one. I'll take this one.
Yeah,
no,
please.
The NHL does not care about you. I'm sorry. No. It's just, it sucks. It's bullshit, but like, no, you will not be reimbursed. You will not be reimbursed. Dursa was asking about if Janmark comes back in, who comes out, and we would say it's probably Broberg for now, but this team does have some options. They got versatility with the type of lineup they can set, and then within the lineup, they've got some versatility on who they can move around as well. I'll be interested to see how they use Bjugstad, to be honest with you, in this series, Tommy. I mean, you kind of elevated him up there, I think, to counteract the size of Kopitar and that line a little bit. I mean, is that really necessary to continue? I guess we'll find out more of the morning skate tomorrow, really, depending on what you wanted to read into that practice on Monday. So,
yeah, exactly. And then you know what? It would be nice to see a more consistent Zach Hyman in this series, and then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins kind of show up a little bit.
Yeah,
and I
think that's true.
This matchup kind of is more conducive to that, whereas the LA series, like you have to grind through that, and those two had a tough time. Hyman did have that OT winner, a couple of goals, and that's fine. And so I think that this will be one of those series where we might see more of those guys, and they need those guys, which is great. And then I forgot to say this about Matthias Janmark. He's so good against his former teams. He's the X factor in all of this.
Oh boy, the X Factor. Let's mark that down. Matthias Janmark X Factor on Tuesday night before Game 1 with the Oil Stream. All right, the Oil Stream on Nielsen Media, Cool Bet Network. And if you want to bet this series, you can hop over right now. And there's a bunch. It's all total goals and everything in this series. McDavid's at 4 goals. Draisaitl's at 4 goals. I do like a couple of things. Points in the series head to head. Draisaitl's at -114 against McDavid -122. I really like Connor McDavid over 9.5 points in this series. That is at -125. I'd probably get on Draisaitl as well. His is set at 9, and that's -125 as well. Those guys, whether McDavid's lighting it up or he's not lighting up, he finds a way to produce. So those would be a couple of things that I would look at. If you like the Edmonton Oilers to win this series in 6 or less, you can get the Oilers at +310. +120 at -1.5. If you like this series to go to Game 7, it's +210. And overall, the Edmonton Oilers to win this series, straight up, -161. So the Golden Knights, despite being higher in the standings and despite having home ice, are a +136 underdog in this series. And for Game 1, the Oilers are a -117 slight road favorite. And I will have an exclusive that'll be posted at some point on Wednesday late morning with a little sort of parlay for this game as well. But, Tommy, it doesn't surprise us that the Oilers are both a favorite in this series. And, in fact, if you go to CoolBet, depending on where you look from different sites, CoolBet has the Edmonton Oilers as the Stanley Cup favorite right now, +325. And also some other places will have the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, the sports books, not just this one, but the sports books overall, really like the Oilers in this series against the Golden Knights.
Well, the path looks clear, especially with the Colorado Avalanche out. I think with Minnesota out, that's a boon for the Oilers as well because they always play Edmonton tough. Edmonton's had success against Dallas. They've had success against Seattle. They've had success against Vegas. So I understand that side of it. And then on the other side, Boston. Wow, man. So I understand, but I look at all the other teams that are still in it, and their eyes probably lit up when they saw that Seattle took care of Colorado and that the Florida Panthers knocked off the Boston Bruins. And I feel like all 8 teams now can taste it a little bit more, and especially the big dogs, Edmonton, Toronto, certainly Dallas, Vegas, and Carolina and New Jersey are just
some good teams still in there, right? Like there's still some good teams here. It should be an excellent playoff the rest of the way here. Very much looking forward to round 2. Tommy will be on location at the Ice House with the TSN 1260 pregame show on Wednesday. We will have another episode of the Oil Stream. I got the charity stuff going on Thursday and Friday.
We got Friday.
Yeah, Friday we've got the Hockey Helps the Homeless, probably Saturday morning maybe to get you ready for the next game because of the great scheduling, depending on how Hockey Helps the Homeless go. I just have a feeling Patty from the Brewhouse is going to get us into a little bit of trouble on Friday. So we'll see how that goes, but there will be watch for Oil Stream at 5 too, obviously breaking down that first game as well. So if you're watching on Twitter, you're watching on YouTube, and you're not yet subscribed to the Oil Stream podcast, all your podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, all your podcasting platforms, give us a sub over there. Tommy, get us out of here. But hey, official prediction. I'm on the Oilers in 6. What do you like?
Yeah. I'll just say in 7. I think in 6, but I like them. I'll go 7 just to be a little bit different. By the way, when you said Patty from Brewhouse is probably going to get us into some trouble on Friday, now that there's no game, I'm just like, oh boy, that just turned into a green light. Yeah. Look out.
I know. It's like I think I have to decide. Like Friday night after the tourney, Patty's gonna probably be like, let's go down to the Ice House or Brew House and we'll have a good time. But then there's the game on Saturday. I wouldn't mind going out with some buddies and watching that. But there's no way I'm pulling off both nights this weekend. So I gotta make a choice. Sometimes when you're a responsible adult, Tommy, you have to make a choice. So maybe I'll do both nights. We'll see.
Don't have 15 beers at the Moss Pit and expect nothing to happen.
And puke everywhere at 7:30. Don't do that. All right, that's going to do it for this Tuesday night episode of the Oil Stream. Get us out of here, Goldilocks.
Well, it is May, so I suppose I should do this appropriately. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, smash that thumbs up button. We will see you this weekend.